Hi, my name is Rashad Coleman. Today I will be presenting my CCR for the year of 2022. About 6 weeks ago, I was tasked with creating an original film opening. During this task, I was told by my teacher that the class would be paired into groups to create a 2-minute film opening using common conventions of film genre that we choose. For this project, I decided to work with my best friend, Ccr Charles. As for a genre, we chose to make a horror film because me and my partner both like to watch horror films and analyze how we would survive in them. For our film name, we chose Dead in the End because in this horror film, none of the main characters will survive. During the creation of my group's film opening, within our planning phases, my group member and I took notes and studied the most common conventions used for a horror film. These can include anything from lettering fonts to specific camera angles that are used within the genre. One of the most common conventions that we've seen while conducting our research is the use of low-key lighting, which we incorporate within our film opening. While researching and exploring ideas for our film opening, we got our main inspirations from these 4 classical horror films, with the first film being The Babysitter Killer Queen. The second film in its series, The Babysitter Killer Queen, tells the story of a young boy who has to face demons of his past. The second film, Final Destination 4, is a film that we mostly used the elements of the prologue. And what the prologue is a way for film creators to tell the story of their film without giving up too much information, basically allowing viewers and audiences to see what would happen in the film before it actually happens. The third film that we got our inspiration from was It, a film created in 2017. One of the main elements that we decided to use for our film opening from this film is the uses of the mise-en-scene. For example, within this film, one of the main characters in this film, Gregory, wears a bright yellow raincoat opposed to the contrast in setting with all the dark muted colors, signifying that he is an important character and that he's someone to pay attention to. And for our last film, the Saw trilogy, we used it for contracting and developing a plot line for our film. While furthering our research to create our film, we learned about the differences between major production companies and independent production companies. While conducting this research, we've learned that for our film, we would choose an independent film production company because independent film production companies have more freedom of what they can produce and what they can help compose, allowing filmmakers to be more free in what they can create, opposed to the major 6 production companies, which includes film production companies such as Disney, Warner Bros., Columbia Studios, and others, which have set rules on what can be published and what can be used within their production label. While using an independent production company, we can share our film to multiple platforms such as DVD, Blu-ray, and our streaming services, and also sell it via merchandise like t-shirts and teddy bears to advertise to our audience of young adults. The reason that we chose to target our film towards young adults is that we feel our film would be good enough for the young adults to view and understand without being too cheesy, and also it would be too graphic for younger audiences and it would be too boring for older audiences. For our film production label, we decided to name our production label Prometheus Films. We chose this name because both me and my partner wanted to use a name of a Greek god. Hence, me and him both like to explore Greek mythology. It's one of our things that we do to bond with each other, and it's how we became close friends. Um, for this project, we wanted to use a Greek god that would represent the behaviors of trickery and misconduct, which are key elements within our film, as it's a horror film. So, as we researched the Greek gods, we found the name Prometheus, which is a god known for trickery and deception. After establishing the group and conducting research, we finally had enough information to create a plotline for our film. Drafting a script was one of our harder tasks in creating our film opening because we didn't know how to directly create a script, but we used an app known as Studio Binder to help and allow us to create a script easily, and it helped us to understand what a script was via its multiple tutorial videos and instructions. It allowed us to create a plot for our film that was concrete and that we can stick to. In order to create our script, we took various ideas of the 4 inspiration films that we've watched and blended them together to create our own main plot points for our script, and we commenced writing. During the creation of our opening title sequence and credits, we made sure to use common conventions that are utilized within the horror genre. One example of this is known as bloody lettering. Bloody lettering is when you take your letters for your film or credits and you turn them red. This is seen within the horror film It, where the opening letters or the letters for the main title sequence are blood red. Another key feature that we utilize within our credits is the font that we utilize to make our letters sharp like a knife. For the mise-en-scene element of our film opening, we used the convention commonly known as low-key lighting. This is used throughout horror films to help create tension for viewers and hide characters' faces, creating confusion and distrust between characters and viewers of the film. Within our film opening, we decided to use this convention to help hide the faces of our characters and create tensions between the viewers and our characters. For the cinematography aspect of our film, we conducted research to find the most common film angles and shot types that are utilized in horror films. These include close-up shots, medium shots, long angle shots, wide shots, and conversation shots that are turned into shot reverse shot using editing. We utilize these shots within our horror film to help signify the emotions that were being conveyed throughout the characters. Like, for example, within our film opening, there's a shot of our main character showing a close-up shot of her face where she is crying and showing signs of mental exhaustion and fear. We utilized this shot mainly to show the emotions on her face and to show that she was struggling with something on the inside. Furthermore, one of the camera angles that we used within our film opening was the over-the-shoulder shot. The reason that we use over-the-shoulder is to show one character's feelings and expressions via a medium shot while also keeping the other character in the frame and keeping them hidden, keeping that person's face hidden, which would help build tensions as the other character remained unknown. For the editing phase of our project, my group was exposed to new technologies to help us. One of these new technologies was editing software known as WeVideo. However, there were some challenges while using WeVideo for us. One of the challenges of using this software is that it was new to us. Therefore, we didn't understand how to navigate the software and how to utilize it to its fullest potentials. Another problem that we had faced while learning how to use this software is not being able to fully lay audio tracks and cut the audio tracks to where we needed them to be for our film. Throughout the beginning stages of creating our film and editing our film, one of the problems that we would mostly face is lining up the music tracks with our dialogue for the characters and the actual visuals of each shot. And the last challenge that was pretty detrimental to both of us was the limited amount of transitions that we were able to utilize because the other transitions did not fit our genre. However, we were able to utilize other techniques to make those transitions fit and work within our genre, and we were able to overcome those obstacles to create our film. For the sound aspect of our film, one of the problems that we had the most of was finding royalty-free music. The reason why finding royalty-free music for us to use was so important is because we didn't want to have to deal with copyright issues in case our film ever got posted to social media platforms such as YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, or various other media platforms. And we didn't want to have to deal with the copyright laws and regulations. Like I stated in the previous slide, one of our other complications was being able to lay down music tracks and blend it between the audio and sound of the audio, between the music and the pacing of our film, which is something that we had to learn how to do watching various tutorials on YouTube, but eventually we learned how and we got over that problem. For example, one of the sounds that we had to use that was giving us the most trouble was the sound of a beating heart that we utilized in our film to help show tensions rising within our character. However, we were able to utilize that feature by playing with the audio features and realizing that we can both cut and lower the audio and increase the audio gradually, which is something that we utilize the most of while creating our film opening. Now that I've completed the project, I can say that there are many things that I've learned and utilized to make me a better filmmaker. One of the things that I learned is that filmmaking definitely takes patience, and it's okay for you to struggle as long as you sit down and you understand what your problem is and learn how to fix it progressively. And I also learned what filmmakers do to really break down and construct understanding throughout their films, and I learned to appreciate the arts that is filmmaking. One of the things that I enjoyed definitely about creating this film is the recording, because I got to work with my other friends and other peers within my school, and it made the experience fun because we were laughing, joking, and bonding throughout the whole experience. And it also allowed me to better understand why filmmaking is the way it is and how much work and effort goes into the construction of a film. And applying my skills and knowledge towards that film allowed me to become a better filmmaker and prepare myself for what comes in the future. Once again, my name is Rashad Coleman, and thank you for watching my Critical Reflection Review.